So in Jesus' earthly ministry, apart from his preaching and his teaching, the most constant experience he gave the people was healing the sick. All right, let me give you some examples. If you go to Matthew chapter 4 to chapter 8, do you know that 4 chapters, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 5 chapters, it was really a 24-hour day. So 5 chapters, but 1 day. So let's look at Matthew 4 and verse 24. It says, "Then his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought to him all sick people who were afflicted with various diseases and torments, and those who were demon-possessed, epileptics, and paralytics, and he healed them." Now, Jesus started his day, a 24-hour day, by healing the multitudes, many of them. And when we come to Matthew chapter 8, it was still the same day. Jesus had just finished conducting a service. He just finished preaching the Sermon on the Mount. And right after that, the same day, he healed a leper. Now, in those days, leprosy is like AIDS today. It's the most feared disease. He healed a leper. And then, same day, he healed a centurion's servant who probably had a stroke. And he healed the person of stroke. And then he healed Peter's mother-in-law of fever the same day. And that evening, he had a healing service and healed all who were sick. After the night service, he got into a boat and immediately fell asleep. Why was Jesus falling asleep? Because he was bone tired. He's been praying for the sick. He'd been praying for the sick. So he was so tired, he fell asleep and soundly asleep even in the midst of a storm. Remember? They had a storm. And he was totally tired. Now, he calmed the storm and the boat reached the other side. Sometime after midnight, the boat landed in Gadara and Jesus healed 2 demon-possessed men. Now, we have a typical day in the life of Jesus Christ, and he was healing. You say that's one-off. That's a one-time event. No, what happened the next day? It was the same thing. Jesus was healing. The next day, early in the morning, he came back to Capernaum and he healed a paralytic, healed a paralyzed man. And then he met a lady by the name of Veronica. She was the woman with the issue of blood. And Jesus healed her. And then he raised Jairus' daughter from the dead, same day. And then he opened the eyes of 2 blind men and healed a deaf and mute person by the evening. Another typical day, and Jesus Christ was healing. We serve a healing Jesus. Come on, give the Lord a big hand. Hallelujah. Well, he then repeated that again, the next day, and the next day, and the next week, and the next month, such that Matthew 9:35, we have one summary verse. It says, Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in the synagogues, preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. So let me tell you, when you read the Gospels, you will never find a Jesus Christ who is too busy to heal the sick. He healed everyone who came to him for healing. And today he has given us the Great Commission to do the same. He has given us in the church as believers, Mark 16 verse 15. Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. And they will lay hands on the sick and they will recover. So yes, part of the Great Commission is to get people saved, but part of the Great Commission is also laying hands on the sick. And he gave us the promise. If you preach about Jesus as the healer, he will heal. All right? So number 3, we find that Jesus Christ had a powerful, constant healing ministry.